All right, let's see. Amazing Spider-Man beats out Spider-Man.
Hey, we're live right now. Blastin or Stashin episode 214. Joe's only got 3 beers, so we got to hurry up and get through this as quick as possible. Looks like we have 21 books in the lineup this week. First time catchy shows, what we do is read all the books that come out. And usually we blast the books we hate, stash the books we like, but we're going to kind of do a little bracket. We did this last week. I thought it worked out pretty well. Got some feedback on from a few people and said it worked out pretty well. Just got to adjust the brackets as we're going along. So I'm trying to put like books together, like ASM 54 and then Spider-Man number 5 and then Batman Black and White and
Dave?
Detective Comics. Yeah, Mike, go ahead.
Do you like chestnuts?
Roasting on an open fire, yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, just checking.
Why? What do you got, Mike?
Nothing. I was just checking if you like chestnuts.
Okay. But before we jump into the books this week, let's talk about what else we've been watching. Mandalorian's still out. I still have yet to see the newest episode. Usually I watch it after the show. Anybody else watch that yet?
Yeah, I catch it after the show.
Yeah, I didn't. I had kids running around. No.
Yeah, no. Still watching Big Bang Theory. Catch an episode of that every now and then, along with my chestnuts.
Just sitting there cracking your nuts.
You're cracking my nuts. My son, who's in town from the military, he's here for a week and a half. He just bought a PS5 yesterday.
Wow.
Talk about a weird-looking machine. What's that, Mike?
How did he get one? From where?
He went to Walmart and said, "Hey, do you have any more PS5?" And they said, "Yes, we have one more in the back."
Take it.
He bought it. So
as long as you didn't pay $2,000 for it, I need.
No, he wasn't going to do that. I see people. I was looking at that night too. I mean, they're going easily on eBay for $1,000.
Oh yeah.
You know? So
we looked into getting myself one and then giving my oldest grandson my old 4.
Yeah.
But it wasn't working
out. That's the thing, though, is that people can't wait. Can't wait another month to get that new thing. They have to have it right now, and they're willing to pay double for it. That's just a crazy concept for me.
Yeah.
But of course, what do I know? I sell comics and flip them too, so people spend money on that.
You mean you read comics and flip them too?
Yeah, I read comics and flip some of them. I just sold first Riri Williams on eBay yesterday. Was it number 7 and number 9 of Invincible Iron Man?
Mm-hmm.
Sold them for $200. So, made a little extra Christmas cash.
There you go.
Okay. So let's go ahead and jump into the first 2 books. So let's say you guys got something else we were doing this week.
Yeah,
I know you got relatives in town.
Who cares what me and Joey were doing?
I don't care.
Yeah. Apparently this is, blasting and stashing the Huey hour.
I guess. Because I am like, we've all discussed in the off air, we're all super tired. It's the holidays. We're worn out.
No, between and Double S is right. I did not put out a review this week. I am sorry, but with Christmas shopping, the American Legion, Sonic Lodge, building a Keyblade, I'm spent. It's like just the last 3 days have just been everything that you can possibly do. I've just been super busy, so not much watching TV. I did catch up on last week's Mandalorian. That was awesome. I can't wait to see what happens tonight. That is going to be killer. But other than that, I've just been, tis the season.
What about you, Mike? I don't want to leave you out.
Yeah. No, I haven't been watching shit. My daughter came into town a few nights ago. She's here with the 2 grandkids. For those of you who don't know, my oldest, when he was born, he was born with his heart backwards. So they actually have to go in and make some adjustments because it's causing him problems in his esophagus. Now, I think that surgery happens next week, but she wanted to get the surgery done here because of CHKD and all that. And, So they're in town driving me fucking crazy. And it's only been 3 days, so I'm mentally tired. I did start playing Cyberpunk. It's a big learning experience. It's I'm only 5 hours in, so. But let's get on with these books.
Yeah, my son bought that too. He's playing it right now. I thought there's something else I was going to add on there and I forgot what it was. Oh, well, no big deal. Oh, that's what it was. The Disney announcements lately, too. That you see all the new trailers for Falcon and Winter Soldier and all the new Star Wars movies and TV shows getting announced. It was a pretty big list. Not going to go through the whole thing.
I did get the Falcon and Winter Soldier Funkos over
No,
here.
did you?
Yeah, that one looks really cool. I saw that on Instagram. You posted up there. That was pretty cool.
Double S said I should have sold them that Invincible Iron Man to him for free.
Wow.
I can do you for free. Okay, let's jump into the books. Let's look at the bracket. Got Amazing Spider-Man 54 and Spider-Man number 5. Joe, did you read Amazing Spider-Man 54?
Yes, I did.
Oh, how about it, man?
Oh, man, I got to go first. We got to start it off on that note.
Yeah, we do.
I just so lost interest into this story. I have no idea why I even picked this up. I stopped picking up the 0.1 and 0.2 and 0.5 and all that. But overall in this, if I look at my notes, it tells me, yeah, you didn't like this. It's kind of sort of better. It's a whole lot of monologuing and just self-righteous
The power of Christ
reflection of
compels
himself.
you. The power.
That's it. It's just, that's it. There's nothing to it. We don't have an evil villain. We have a spoiled brat who's got a lot of opinions about himself and feels that Spider-Man needs to pay for it. Rich kid syndrome. It was bad. I'm blasting it.
Mike, did you pick this up?
I did pick this up.
What do you think about it?
I am stashing it. I thought it was pretty good. I am getting sick of Kindred. I want to know, for the most part, how did Harry get like this? I mean, they haven't explained where did he get all these powers, but it's pretty cool. It's one big battle. Kindred kills Spider-Man 3,642 times, brings him back to life, kills him again, and I thought it was pretty good. So I'm stashing it.
I'd say it's going to be a stash for me too. Just because it was better than the last issue. It had a lot more action in it, that's for sure. Every time that Spider-Man thought he'd get the upper hand on Harry, he ended up getting his ass kicked, And I've always wondered in movies and comics, when they do like the big hit, they like grab their hands and they're like this, like the double fist. Does that even work? Is that even more powerful than punching?
I don't know, but it's a good thing to test out next time we're in Baltimore.
Oh, maybe. And look at Mary Jane. Look at Mary Jane walk through the cemetery in that short skirt there.
Yeah, it never explained why she was walking into this trap. Like, just walking up to it.
But overall, it's a stash better than last issue. No, I'm not picking up the last rights either. The
no, neither.
54 LR. So 2 stashes and a blast. What about Spider-Man number 5? I picked it up, but I did not get a chance to read that. Mike, hopefully you read that.
I did read it. I think the problem with this one, number 4 came out like so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think right as the pandemic started, earlier this year. But from what I can remember, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed this. I'm so tired. I forgot what I read in here. Oh, we learned that Mary Jane is actually one of the critters that I can't even think of the villain. What's the villain's name? Joe, did you read this? Help!
No, I read 4. I didn't pick this one up because I was getting kind of bored with it. I'm sorry. But
help.
The villain.
Anyway, long story short,
The villain.
Mary Jane's back to life. Peter Parker dies at the end of this. Blah blah blah. Let's stash this one too.
Oh.
Ooh. Wow, that's going to be a
Now
stack
you need
for
to
you,
make a
huh?
decision. Which one goes to the
I
next
think
bracket,
the series
Mikey?
as a whole, the series was as a whole was pretty good.
Okay, well,
I
since
like
you're the one who read this one this week and Amazing Spider-Man, which one moved forward on the two Spider-Man books?
Amazing Spider-Man.
Okay. Amazing Spider-Man moves up. I think, yeah, this is the last issue on this too, isn't it?
Yes,
Number 5, yeah.
but they hint at it continuing because Tony Stark gives both Mary Jane and Ben Parker, I think is his name, upgraded spider suits. I don't know. So, Jacchio says, "Yo,
Yo.
Okay, it's moving on to DC Very Merry Christmas. This was not on my pull list. It's not a book that I was going to buy. Then it pops up saying it's the first appearance of Kid Quick. I think it's what it was, or Jesse Quick, or whoever it is. And that's really the only reason I picked it up. I read through some of it. Some of it was kind of funny and interesting. It had to do with "It's a Wonderful Life" kind of thing with Harley Quinn and the third twin of the Wonder Twins. He's trying to get move up to be an angel and trying to essentially taking that angel role of A Wonderful Life and taking her through.
There's a third twin.
The triplet, maybe that's what it is. He says he's the third twin. I think that's how he describes himself in the book.
We missed something. That's weird. Okay.
He says
Thunderlust.
Thunderlust. Did you read the show?
No.
Oh, well, what the hell? Then why am I looking it up and you're questioning me and you didn't even read it?
I did not know that there was a triplets. It's the Wonder Twins, not the Wonder.
I got that. I'm
Got
sorry.
me confused. My primitive brain could not comprehend it. It was like fire, magic.
I thought those. Here he is. He's talking about. I got separated from my siblings at birth because they got powers and I got nothing. Tried to reconnect, but chickened out. Ran away from the problems. It did the whole die alone thing. It's all cracked up to be. I wound up in heaven cleaning toilets, but working my way up to be an angel ever since. So he is part of the Wonder Twins, or I guess be the Wonder Triplets. But so instead of taking him through different times of Harley Quinn's life, she's taking him through different Gotham's, different multiverse. Overall, it's not worth $10. The only thing I would make it worth $10 if it becomes $1 million book because it's the first appearance of this Kid Quick or whoever that is in there. Tons of stories. I mean, DC's been doing this for a while with the holiday books, the Halloween specials, the Christmas specials. So, for investment, maybe pick it up. Other than that, I didn't even read the whole dang thing. So it's a blast for me. Mike, what about you?
Oh yeah, definite blast for me too. Fuck Christmas. I hate Christmas to begin with. The only reason I picked this up was for the first appearance as well. I read through a couple of them. The Harley Quinn I think Harley was the first one. Then you got Lobo in there and a couple other characters. But yeah, this is a blast. 10 Tales of Heroic Holiday Hijinks. I read one of them.
And there was no hijinks to be had. Did you read the DC Dark Last Stories? DC Dark.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe. What do you think of that?
Well, this is another blast.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So basically what you have here is tons of hero monologues. So this is the night before the big event where it's going to end everything. And so like everybody's like getting together and just kind of talking and kind of sort of hooking up, and a lot of epic speeches about friendships and how powerful friendships and love and family and hope are. It's a giant goodbye letter from DC saying goodbye, because it came off like a Lifetime movie. I don't know. It was just so woo-woo that it just made me want to cry. So I guess this is a sort of a preview of the hellish dribble that we're going to be ending up with here very soon. So preview. Like, it's bad.
So that's a blast too, huh?
Oh yeah, shotgun blast.
I'm trying to figure out where the strike through. I forgot where strike through is on Word. Oh well. So Mike, did you read Last Stories?
I haven't read it yet.
Okay,
And
so
now
it
I
sounds
probably
like
won't.
both DC Very Merry and Last Stories were a blast. So neither one of them should be really moving on. Do we just cross out that category and just move on to the next one then?
Well, won't that mess up your bracket? Something's got to move forward.
Okay. Well. What are you gonna say, Mike? What do you want to say? DC Very Merry moves forward just because of the first appearance, then?
But then you got the price point. What? How much was
Last Stories?
Yeah.
Well, I got the 1 in 25. That was a pretty cool cover, but
$9 for that Last Stories.
Yeah.
So about the same.
Yeah.
Move death metal forward because Christmas sucks.
Ooh. Okay. That's a logical reason.
I like that. You should have just flipped the coin, but okay.
You could have. You could have. Moving on to Detective Comics. Where's my Detective Comics? There's my Detective Comics. This is Detective Comics number 1032. So we have Hush, who's captured all of the Bat family. He's drawn blood. He's wanting to donate organs, looks like from Red Hood. And then we get this whole fight between Batman and Robin when they finally meet up. And overall, this is getting really weak. I'm not really liking this very much anymore. That's what sucks. We get a little more story of this. Is it the mayor? He's trying to run for mayor of Gotham, and he finds out that the glass eye he's getting was funded by Wayne Enterprises, and he rejects it. He does not want anything to do with it. He doesn't want to think he's being as a bot politician. Hush is kind of a cool character. I'm not sure if I'm digging the whole fighting thing between Robin or Damian and Batman very much. It's kind of weak, and I think the whole story with the drawing blood and the donate and the organ thing is kind of weak too. So it's a blast for me.
Ooh, blast in the face.
Blast in the face. Oop, 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 oop. I reduced it down.
And just so you guys know, Tyler Hill voted for Last Stories to move forward.
Oh, he did. Well, good thing we moved it forward for him. Detective Comics.
And because Christmas sucks.
And because Christmas sucks. Because Mike is the Grinch. You should really wear that green outfit, Mike.
Again, we did it that one time. You said it was pinching you in places it shouldn't pinch.
Wow, I don't remember that night. I must have been drunk. No, it was the night before the big event. For a second there, Joe, I thought you were going to say The Nightmare Before Christmas.
It was a nightmare before.
Mike, what's the Detective Comics?
I liked it. I think the art, I don't know who the artist was, and this one kind of threw me off a little bit. What I didn't like is, Batman and his son are fighting. All of a sudden, they're teaming up to go save the Bat family. Just like that. There's no... and I do like Hush harvesting organs. I think that's pretty cool. I would like to harvest organs someday when I retire.
That's going to be your hobby?
Yeah, I think so. A couple livers, kidneys, whatever.
Catching unsuspected co-eds and putting them in a tub of ice and removing white kidney and selling it on the Mexican black market.
So you got this figured out?
I don't know. I watched a few movies. Yeah. So you say it's a stash for you, Mike?
I'm stashing it.
Stashing it. Okay, Joe. How about you?
Batman Black and White.
Yeah, Joe. What about you for Detective Comics 1032?
I didn't pick it up.
You didn't? I thought you've been picking up Detective Comics.
I have been. I forgot that Black and White was coming out, and I saw a Batman cover, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll pick this one up. And then it was Batman Black and White, and I didn't go back because I had things to do. So I failed you all as a reviewer. I apologize. If you wish to fire me, please email.
Email at blastinstash@gmail.com.
gmail.com.
Since you talked about Batman Black and White, so go ahead and jump into that.
Okay, so this first off, this was a cool cover. I don't know who this character is supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be Ra's al Ghul's daughter. Maybe
it is.
I guess so. She's got a laser rifle, so that was kind of cool. Cool cover though. So this was okay. Most of the stories in here were okay. My favorite was the first one, Flight of Man-Bat. The concept of Man-Bat ninja / 1990s pouches and that kind of artwork that kind of fueled into it. I really liked that one. My least favorite one, and the one that I thought was just absolutely stupid, was the one named Sisyphus. If you don't know, Sisyphus is the guy who was punished by the gods, who kept having to roll a rock up the hill just to have it come back down and repeat that because it was a punishment that he was going through. Whereas Batman has free will to do what he wants. Apparently, the writer tends to forget that this is a choice this person makes. And it just kind of just weird the way it was written. I didn't really dig it very much. But all in all, the majority of the stories in it, they were entertaining. It was okay. The artwork was kind of hit or miss for me in certain stories. There was one in there where they were trying to do that whole Silver Surfer Black type art, the very kind of
that same artist,
70s kind of collage thing that just hurts your eyes. He did that in here, and I was just like, this is not DC. But for the most part, it was pretty good.
Yes, Mike.
Jason
Smith popped in here. Haven't seen him in a while.
Hey, Jason Smith. What's shaking, bacon?
That is. It's just actually the same artist from Silver Surfer Black, Trad Moore.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mike, what about Batman Black and White for you?
Grandpa does not do black and white books. I wasn't even going to buy this, but I said, for the sake of the show, I'll buy Batman Black and White. Fuck this book. I'm blasting it. I hate black and white comics. It's the reason why I didn't read Walking Dead initially. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Blast.
Oh, blast. Oh.
I think black and white can be artistic. But I think they already did this. I don't know, because we had Wolverine Black, White, and Red that came out for Marvel. And then also now we got a Batman Black and White. Kind of the same thing, where it's little short stories, a different artist and stuff like that. Overall, though, I think it's better than Detective Comics, but that Trad Moore art, I do not like it at all. Maybe if I was tripping on mushrooms, I might be able to get into it. But other than that, dude, it is, for me, just god awful, and it definitely does not fit Batman at all. Even though it was kind of like the ninja Batman, I was like, I'm one punch, I make a difference. I'm that one punch. Get that fucking shit out of here, dude. I just didn't like it at all.
The whole thing's gonna look like a blacklight poster.
Yep. I do like. I think I'm with you, Joe. That first fight with the Man-Bat, where they're attacking him in his cave, and it is Talia. That's her on the front. If you look inside the book, she's wearing that same cloak.
Okay.
Same design on
I
it.
was
So
wondering, if you look at the gun, I thought it was somebody that had an old Nintendo system.
Oh, the zapper. Playing a little duck hunt, made a little Man-Bat, shooting him out of the Bat Cave.
Yeah.
Ski.
Skeet.
Skeet. What's that for?
Really?
We'll tell you after the show.
You need to get out more.
I'm old. I do like the Killer Croc story in here too, when he's trying to find Killer Croc and he thinks he kidnapped this woman, and the woman's actually kind of like I don't know. She never says she's in love with him, but the Killer Croc treated her right. It's a typical thing where some guy's beating the crap out of his wife, and you step in and start beating the crap out of the dude, and she starts beating up you for beating up her husband, if it was an asshole. Overall, it's better than Detective Comics. So I'm thinking Batman Black and White moves forward out of those two. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2 against 1.
Hearing no arguments.
What about the chat? I'm with Michael on Black and White, double S.
What's the chat say?
Well, double S says you're wrong, Huey, and you need to.
Oh, is that what you're saying? I don't see that anywhere. That must not have popped up yet. The next 2 books I did not read either. Flash and that DC Dark Multiverse Flash.
I read Flash.
What about Flash, Mike?
I enjoyed Flash. This is Endless Winter Part 2. I think we all enjoy the Endless Winter?
I haven't read it.
I read it.
Yeah. Basically, as we found out, the world is freezing. There's a flashback right in the beginning about Black Adam back in the day. Black Adam pulls some bullshit at the UN, so Flash heads to confront Black Adam, and he gets ambushed by some frozen horses or some frozen demons or whatever. Black Adam saves him, nurses him back to help, and then we get a sense of, Black Adam's up to something. So I enjoyed this. I like Black Adam, so I am stashing it.
Great. You get the audience that gets me now, too. Right. Yeah. Like Joey said, I think you're wrong. Great. Thank you, Joe, for turning audience members against me. I just leave this show. Screw this place. I don't need this kind of treatment. And did anybody read the Dark Multiverse Flash Point?
I haven't read it yet.
I started through that.
I didn't read either one of those.
It was so hard for me to get into books this week for some reason. Maybe it was just the long couple of weeks and being tired, and it was just super hard for me to get into anything this week.
This is the book he's talking about.
Yep, I have that book too. Anybody in the audience?
One thing
if you read it, let us know. Go ahead, Mike.
I haven't read this yet. The reason, because I never read the original Flashpoint. I know about it, so I was kind of, I'll save it for later and haven't got to it yet.
I'm right there with you too. I never have read the original Flashpoint. I basically know what the storyline is, but I don't know.
I watched the cartoon. Does that count?
Yep, that does. Watching the movie always counts, especially when you got to write a book report.
I don't like the Flash. Once I found out that the speed formula is bullshit.
Yeah. So anybody in the audience that's watching this right now live, okay, so we got Flashpoint was great by Tyler Hill.
This
so maybe,
Flashpoint or the original Flashpoint?
I'm thinking he's thinking this week's Flashpoint.
Okay.
Well, we aim to please. Push that Joker forward.
I'll push that Joker forward. Don't know if it's going to be doing much good against the other ones, but
I know. But, we got to appease the crowd.
I do. Yeah, we got to make sure all 3 people watching are good. Okay, so it's Superman Endless Winter against Avengers. Again, there's a couple of books that I didn't pick up this week, but I know both you guys got both those books, so go ahead. Start us off with Superman.
Who, me or Mike?
Either one.
Mike, you go first. Hit it.
All right, Superman special. This is a stash for me as well. I guess I'm kind of digging this Endless Winter stuff. Not as good as the Flash, but we do get the origin of the Frost King in this, so that was pretty cool. And the rest of the book is basically told by Lois Lane, Superman doing good things around the frozen planet. That's about it. So I liked it. I'm stashing it. stash Superman books. So.
By the way, I just made the connection to who Tyler Hill is. He's one of the co-owners of Astral Comics. I knew him as Tyler. I'm like, wait a minute. I think I know that name. And I had to look him up on Facebook. That's Tyler Hill, yeah.
Stop paying people to be in this.
That's right,
chat.
audience. We're doing background checks on you if you're in the chat.
Yeah. I got your last 4 years so too. Go ahead, Joe. What about Superman Endless Summer?
All right, so yeah, I'm on board with Mike on this one. This is good. I'm really getting into this Endless Winter stuff. It's fun. There's Vikings involved. Norse mythology, and we don't have to hear about Thor and crap like that. So really good. Although I didn't know Jonathan Kent didn't die. Like I thought he was dead, and in this one apparently he's alive.
Oh, I don't know. I don't read Superman enough to.
Yeah, he was supposed. But regardless, he's alive in this one, which is cool because he's just a grumpy old man. Which I'm totally cool with that. I was like, I relate to that dude. A lot of this story though can come off weird because it's mostly like Mike said, a lot of monologuing about how stressful it is to be Superman, trying to be everywhere at once and keep up the fight and the hero talk stuff. And me, I like villains more than I like heroes, and it just was no real villain in this, but the origin story was super cool, and that was the saving grace for this. So this thing is definitely a stash for me because I'm liking this guy.
Got 2 stashes for Superman Endless Winter. Now, this is not the Superman that's coming out in this future state, right? This is something totally different.
No, this is our Superman.
Yeah, this is the good Superman. I'll just go ahead and say it.
Moving on to Avengers. I know it's a storyline of the first Phoenix, I believe that's what it was.
Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike. No, Mike started the last one. Joe, go ahead on this one.
So this book was mistitled. It's actually X-Men. It's X-Men.
Oh, yeah, because of Phoenix?
Well,
worse.
There's more.
There's more.
Oh, wait, there's more.
So
it slices.
Now, I don't know if it's technically the first Phoenix, but we'll just say it's the first Phoenix that inhabited a mutant body on Earth. We'll throw it that way, right? So basically, baby got thrown away because it had red hair. And then we got monologued about how, Simple Man didn't understand all this other stuff and blah, blah, blah. And so we just killed everything. If you liked the man, we would kill you. If you were a different color, we got a lot of that virtue signaling BS talk in here. It read more like a Captain Marvel book. And then some guy, just like Xavier, who can't walk but floats around and reads minds, saves or rescues the baby from the wolves because the wolves were raising the child. So it's a wildling, if you will. Takes it to a cave underground, or kind of underground, where all the human cavemen hate all these other people that are different, and they all have powers. Like there's a guy that stretches. There's a person that looks like a fish.
The first mutants.
Yeah, the first mutants. Good point. So we got that going on, and then they got to show up and cause a problem. And then she gets all upset, and because she can't control her powers, everybody dies. And then she shows up to Odin, who's like, hey, Odin, you want to go start some shit down on Earth? Or whatever she said. Doesn't really matter. That would have been cooler. And Odin's like trying to pick up Mjolnir because he thinks he's being attacked. Now, don't get me wrong. I love this concept of the Avengers BC. I love the concept. And I thought they could have done something really great with it. But at this point, as it stands right now, the characters, the more and more you try to force feed these characters to me, their internal beliefs and monologuing, the more and more I'm pulling myself away from them. I just want to see them do cool stuff. What
about you, Mike?
I'm stashing this. I liked it. So there. That's all I got to say.
Boom, bitches.
But it sounds like, though, go ahead, Mike.
It's the beginning. I guess the Phoenix Force is coming back, and this is the Phoenix 10,000 BC or whatever. And like Joey said, she stumbles across the cave of the first mutants, and Double S had a point. I thought Apocalypse was the first mutant. I don't
Thank
know.
you. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Thank you.
I think Jesus was the first mutant.
But I really enjoyed this, so I'm stashing it.
Tyler said, "Yep, I agree. That's what I thought." Okay, so but it sounds like both of you guys stashed Superman Endless. Only one of you stashed Avengers.
Paper, rock, scissors.
No, I think it says Superman's moving forward since you both voted to stash that.
Fair call. Well, I don't know, Mikey. Which one did you like better?
I'm always going to go with the Marvel book, especially over DC. Or especially over Superman.
Go ahead and pick the DC book forward.
I'm moving to DC book forward because you guys both agreed on Superman.
This reminds me of the episode of Whose Line Is It Anyway, where the points don't matter.
No, they don't. Come on, copy. My copy and paster's not working right now.
What's the next category? Can you even see?
Skeet.
Little skeet, skeet.
Oh, skeet, motherfucker up. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. Do you know what skeet, skeet is now?
I don't know what skeet is now. I don't know what it means. No.
It's kind of like Rockin' Robin, where he went tweet, tweet, tweedly dee, rock, tweet, skeet, skeet, skeet.
Okay, moving on. Now, I thought this book would be something cool, like about World War II bomber pilots coming back, or in the middle of war, and they want to be home. It's homesick pilots. And it has nothing to do with
it. You missed that one by a mile.
Totally long shot. Apparently, I did not read the synopsis on this book. So basically, all this is the band name, Homesick Pilots. And there's another local band. They're I think they're high school kids or right around that age, maybe just a little past high school. And there are two bands in the town, and they're kind of competing. And they're trying to think of this great venue until they decide to go to this haunted house. And that's where all the shit happens. Overall, dude, it's just a bunch of millennials arguing over which band's best.
Placed in 1994. They're not millennials.
Oh, so they're Gen Xers. They're Gen Xers.
Grunge. They're grunge.
Yeah,
that was supposed to be the pickup of the week right there.
Mm-hmm. Was it really? Well, it's not my pickup of the week.
I don't think we can be friends anymore.
No. Got Rogue City Comics in here as well. So Homesick Pilots, it's a blast for me. Joe, you tell me you liked it.
I enjoyed it. I think liked is hard. And the reason why I thought it was funny, maybe I had a mild nostalgia moment in it when I had my little grunge fades like teenagers did back in the 90s, where every song was basically somebody saying their vowels. A-E-I-O-U. That's what it reminded me of. But the kids I think they're in a punk band. They're just screaming, a rival punk band with fake punks in it. You know, they don't keep it real like kids know what real is. Like I didn't know what real was. I thought I was real. But whatever. But I did like the concept of this because it immediately reminded me of Friday the 13th, the television show, where they had to go get all the things that were sold in a pawn shop and all the haunted stuff, right? And they kind of do that in here with the horseshoe at the end. And the little girl, since she's been trapped in the house, now she has to go out and get all the artifacts from the house. And I was like, okay, all right. Like I can kind of dig this. I love the banter back and forth between the rival bands. I thought it was funny when the one punk kid was like, I'm going to rob you for your weed. And he like stabs the other guy in the shoulder. And he's like, hey, man, you stabbed me. He's like, yeah, I'm robbing you. And nobody's taking it seriously. Little heavy on the, kids growing up in foster care kind of thing. I get it. And that's probably where the name comes from since they're all in the system. So be it. But I see this as being fun. I see this as being I would keep my eyes on this. I would pick up issues 2 and 3 and kind of follow this story because this obviously screams it wants to be more. So this is a stash for me. I enjoyed it.
I guess where I thought was more of millennial, I totally spaced. I remember seeing it now. It was early 90s. but I don't remember, beanies like wearing beanies like the kid's doing there, kind of half off his head, and same with
Yeah.
the hoods. That
Skater
wasn't the
boys
style
on the
back
East
then.
Coast wore beanies. Yeah, that was the thing. Mikey, Mike, you're from Chicago. Wasn't that a thing up there too?
What?
Kids wearing beanies in the summertime and stuff like that in the 90s, all grunged out.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Thank you, Mike, for agreeing with me. I appreciate that.
I'm just telling the truth. Not in the summer. We weren't stupid.
Yeah, so okay, we got a stash and we got a blast. Mike, you read this book?
No, I didn't pick it up.
Okay.
I might have it coming. I don't know.
Ooh,
Send it to the chat. Send it to the chat. Send it to the chat.
Okay, while the chat's gonna just think what they thought of Homesick Pilots, what'd you think of Piecemeal, Mike? You were holding it up there.
So this kid finds a brain in a jar in an old insane asylum, I guess it was, and decides to take it home. Now, what motherfucking kid finds a brain in a jar and decides, hey, I'm gonna take this home and keep it because it's cool? Not me. Well, I would. Now he takes it home. His grandpa's going crazy. Shit starts getting weird. I really hated this book, to be honest with you. The only saving grace for this, the art really fits. I'm not sure who the artist Kudransky art. It fits. Yeah. So, but this is a blast for me. Piecemeal.
It was very similar to Homesick Pilots. I thought it's set in 1989, so it's set in the late 80s. Very similar time frame. It's about a group of kids these kids are getting ready to graduate high school. Some are moving on to they have a scholarship to play football. Some are wanting to go to college. The girlfriend of the football player going to move over there. One kid doesn't even know what he's going to do, and they all go to this abandoned house, kind of like what Homesick Pilots did. That's why I kind of
are we talking about Homesick Pilots again?
No, well, I mean, they're very similar. A group of kids going to an abandoned house that's haunted, or has something to do with creepy. So, it's the oversized book though. That's what irritates me. I don't know why I get irritated by that. At least it's magazine size.
Why are your brackets all messed up?
I don't know why what's wrong with my brackets?
I don't understand your brackets, but okay, go ahead.
Don't look at my bracket. Don't be looking at my brackets. I didn't give you consent to look at my bracket. But if I had to choose between the two, for me, it'd have to be Piecemeal. So anybody? Oh, Tyler here says sounds like Homesick Pilots win.
Speaking of which, while you're running that down, I'm going to run down the chat real quick because we had some people pop in. We have Sleepy Comic Book Reader. Haven't had a chance to watch his weekly haul this week, but he wants to say hi, guys. Also, if you've never heard his show, he's got like one of those voices that you wish would read you a bedtime story because it's just he's got that soothing voice. It's very calming. He needs to do voiceovers for like meditation tapes or something. I don't know, but I love that guy. Double S, Whose Line Is It? A favorite show of mine. I loved Whose Line Is It. That was great. Rogue City Comics jumps in. He goes, me too. He happens to like that show too. And he thought he got punked. And that's when we were talking about Homesick Pilots, about it being a pilot World War II thing. Sleepy Reese, those pilots were at home getting sick. Fair enough. Double S says, kind of sounds like a ripoff of the band Stone Temple Pilots. Probably. That would have been about that time. So, yeah, fair enough. Besides the name title, I thought Homesick Puppies was a good read. I thought it was too. Sounds like Homesick Pilot wins. And Sleepy Reader says, I put people to sleep. And I never said you put people to sleep. You're very relaxing. That's relaxing. Breathe.
So Mike liked Homesick Pilots, didn't you, Mike?
No, I didn't even read it.
You didn't. Joe read it.
Read it.
Did you like? You did like it, and then Tyler liked it in the chat, so that's like that's moving forward because we both blasted piecemeal. So it's like Homesick Pilots. How much I hate to copy and paste this.
Yeah, both of you blasted piecemeal. So yeah, woo, Homesick Pilots, rock. You're grunge.
I'm really open to suggestions too on like if we continue to do this bracket thing. What's an easier way to do it? How to match them up? Definitely open for criticism. Sounds like Huey's trying to pass a bowel movement when he's reading Homesick Pilots. I don't read my comics on the crapper. I never do. I'm afraid of that. You know, people, smokers who have their comics smell like cigarette smoke. I don't want my comics smell like poop. So, moving on. We went too far there. Venom. Let's go to Venom.
Let's go to Venom.
Let's go to Venom. Venom. What you give us, Joe? Give it to us. Give us that good Venom goodness.
Already? Okay. Not much of a story.
Blast.
There wasn't a whole lot of story in this. It was a lot of character development, a lot of perspective in it. It just not a whole lot going on. It was an in-between issue. If we had our glorious thing, we could do the whiskey dick thing. But it was cool. The pacing was okay. But this whole thing with Brock, you know, and this guy from his past narrating the story, the entire comic book was him falling. Y'all realized that, right? Like that's like the world's largest building. A lot happened while he was falling. Like I was just like, I was like you have Null there. We have a great character. We have a great villain, and this is just him falling, and a lot of what he is and who he is and character building from a character that's already established on his 31st issue. No, not good. It was bad. It was a blast.
Sleepy Reader says, I haven't read my books yet this week, but I'm looking at this chart, looking at our brackets, and it says I only got one book. You guys did, even though I got 14 books this week. So we got 13 other books than what we have on our chart up here. That's crazy.
Yeah, he must have got all the good ones.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but this week and last week have been very, because normally I get, you know, anywhere from 15 to 20 bucks, and I don't know, there's just some stuff I'm just like, I just don't want to read a bad comic book right now. Like, I'm sorry.
Mike, how about you for Venom 31?
Yeah, speaking of bad comic books, this is pretty bad. Like Joey said, the whole issue is Venom falling off the fucking building. Rex Strickland makes an appearance right at the beginning for whatever reason, and if you remember, he was the one who was bonded with he volunteered to be bonded with a symbiote in Vietnam, but nobody cares. But yeah, he's just falling and praying, and his life is flat. The end, you know, he's seconds before slamming into the back of a car, so he might be dead. Who knows? But this was a blast. I was looking forward to this because it's continuing the King in Black. But anybody pick up the Namor book? That's a joke. I'm just kidding. Nobody picked up the
Namor book.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do a quick interpretation of what this book's all about. That's it. That's it. The whole book. Kate's, you have let me down. It's a blast for me.
Every series every arc has its in between book. This was the Whiskey Dick book. It just existed.
You just go ahead and move Strange Academy right up.
Yeah, pretty much. Strange Academy was really good this week. We get the Frost Giant. I forgot her name, coming to get the adults to come save the rest of the kids. The kids think they're a total badasses, but they find out their powers aren't as strong as what they are on campus. You know, maybe the challenges the teachers have been putting them up against hasn't been as tough as they thought, or they totally think they're able to go in and kick ass, but the Hollow is just essentially laughing at them the whole entire time. There are some pretty cool scenes in there. The one girl pulls that jewel off her necklace, and she reveals to everybody else she's the undead. That was pretty awesome. The zombies come out of the swamp to attack the Hollow. They get shot down too as well. But Dormammu's son ends up getting. We think he's killed. Is it Dwight? That's his name. He ends up getting killed, what we think, but we're not sure yet. But overall, this is great. This was even picking up more than what the last issue was. A total stash for me. Strange Academy #6. Awesome series, awesome book moving forward. Joe, what about you for Strange Academy?
Scotty Young knows how to write a kid-based story and make it still appealing to adults, and I love that. This almost kind of reminded me of the story Middle West to some degree. The artwork's beautiful in it, of course, but what I really liked in this was we get a story where a bunch of kids, like kids often do, maybe bit off more than they can chew. And going against the Hollow in this, thinking that they were ready and prepped for it, and the hubris of the entire thing. And then finding out that, yeah, you're only really super strong in a magical area where other magical people are. Like, you're in the real world, son. Like, you're in the real world. You constantly hear that. And there they are. And they're going against their first villains, and they're getting it handed to them. I like the fact that they had to, even though they were losing, they had to learn to work together super fast and super quick. And then, of course, the most powerful one of them, Doyle, Dumano's son, who's been hinted at several times in this about becoming a villain, so we know he's not dead. But the kids actually see the death from they learned the lesson from their hubris. They got a friend that's knocked out, Emily, the most normal looking one of them all. Then you got Doyle, who's dead, and like the kids are like, "Oh my God, this is what had to happen." And the adults coming in to save the day, quick, fast, in a hurry. I love the indecision not indecision, but the absolutism of Doctor Strange sealing up the Hollow as a tree, and they said, "Hey, they'll exist to the end of time," so that's when the spell ends. I was like, "Oh, they're literally encased forever," So. Will they come back? Will they not? Who cares? But we're going to be launching on to the next story arc here, and hopefully we'll get to find out who the guy is in the basement of this Sanctum Sanctorum that Emily met when she was playing door tag. Again, this is a great cross between Harry Potter and just good classic storybook or comic book storytelling, that often ends in a lesson in some way, shape, or form. And that's good to see. And hopefully we'll get some better villains. That's my only criticism. I want some better villains.
Mike, how about you for Strange Academy?
I hated this fucking book. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you're right.
I was about to say, this is right up your alley.
Yeah, this is some good stuff. Again, Scotty Young and Humberto Ramos are killing it with this book. I love this man's art. Move it forward. You're ready. You see, you moved it forward already. You knew.
I moved it forward. I knew it was going to move forward.
And you know what? First issue, second issue, I didn't think I was going to like this as much as I do. So, I've never been a big Doctor Strange, magical Marvel Universe kind of guy, but this is pretty good stuff. So,
next up, we got Red Sonja versus the Cimarron Frost Giant's daughter. I think Mike read Red Sonja is the only one, and I'm the only one who read Conan this week, so it's going to be leaving it up to the chat on this one probably. Mike, what about Red Sonja this week?
Red Sonja, The Price of Blood, issue 1 is a blast. Basically, most of this book takes place at the Festival of Fire, which is kind of like a big rave for people of that time, I guess. Red Sonja and her buddy, I think her name is Elle or Ellie, or who cares. They go to this thing, they party hard. There's some lesbian action between Red Sonja and some other hot chick. I didn't like the way Red Sonja was portrayed in this. It was like she was a 16-year-old girl at her first party. and it was just so stupid. Anyway, some bad guys attack. She gets thrown into the dungeon, and the book ends. Nothing new here. Blast. Blast, blast, blast. Go read Vampirella. It's a lot better.
Okay, I picked up Frost Giant's Daughter, and the main reason I picked it up was the cover on this one. This is just a badass cover here. This is actually based off of one of Conan's first tales. I did some research on it, and the Frost Giant's Daughter is she's over there watching the battle of all these Vikings are fighting it out, trying to be the ultimate survivor of this battle in order to like win the heart of the Frost Giant's Daughter. But unfortunately, Conan is there. He is a mercenary. You know, he's not from either one of these groups. He just essentially goes onto the battlefield and is a sole survivor, and he's winning the heart of the Frost Giant's Daughter. This was good because I like that they add the Viking mythology in there and all that stuff. So this was actually a stash for me. This is just a visual representation of earlier Conan books. You know, it's not a new story by any means. The art is pretty dark, but I think the art fits the story pretty well. You know, and of course it's Conan. Conan being all Conan-y to
I like that.
Conan. Well, that's a callback to Jeremy being all Logan.
Yeah, shout out to Jeremy. For those of you who don't know, Trinity Comics, he came down with the corona.
He got the corona
on his birthday, so yeah, he's not feeling too good right now.
Happy birthday! I brought the bow on it.
Our thoughts, and if you pray, he makes it through this. He will. He's a crazy fucker. So, did we ever find out if his wife was okay? Or
as far as I know, it's okay. She's okay.
Okay, so if you're in contact with him, go say hi. So.
At the end of this book, it's really badass. So the two people left on the battlefield. It's the Heimdall. He's the Jarl of the Wolf Clan, and Conan. They're standing in the middle of the battlefield.
You mean Jarl?
Jarl?
Yeah.
Is it Jarl? Okay. Yeah. Don't pronounce the J on that. Sorry.
No.
Jarl. Then they're the only two left standing in the battlefield, and he asks what his name is. He says, "My name is Conan, old man, and I will kill you." And that's how the story ends, pretty much. And that's just kind of badass, very Conan. So it's a stash for me. I'm definitely picking up issue 2. So that's a stash for me. Your Red Sonja was a blast, but we got Conan was an okay read in the chat. So does Conan move forward on that group then?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to do anything without getting your opinion on that. I don't want to be the taking
it. Cold, Joey?
You will pass Conan forward.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Next two, you guys are up, and I think you two are the only. Joe read American Vampire. Mike read Vampirella. So it's going to build up the audience on this one too. Joe on American Vampire.
American Vampire is a fun read, and the sad thing is, it's not getting the push that it deserves. This is based off of the American Vampire series. It's a much older series, and it kind of continues it on in 1976. Quick update: they got to do a train heist. Who doesn't like a good train heist in 1976? I don't know. You just got to be weird. I don't know. But it was great. And also on this train, there's a lot of like ancient artifact or historical artifacts in it that are relevant to vampires to some degree. In this, they actually steal Rockefeller's limousine, drive it out of the train, and wreck it into the Grand Canyon, which I don't know why. That just made me really, really happy. Also, we get our buddy cop team in here. They're going down to Grand Central Station because, you know, most of these stories, any major public building that's been around forever is really a hideout for either vampires or secret laboratories. In this particular one, it was secret laboratories, and they brought back an old character from the very beginning of American Vampire. They brought back New Moon is her name. I can't pronounce her name in her native tongue. She's Native American. It's like Milith or I don't want to disrespect it. Whatever. She's a cool character. She's also a good villain. So got her in here. got a lot of action going on. It's vampires. It's 1976. That's America. I'm all about this. This is good stuff.
Yeah. This is the year I was born. I think everybody was born here in the panel, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. We should change the name of the show to 76ers.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, please, don't
Mike,
get them basketball people coming in here.
Yeah. Vampirella, Mike, what you think of that one?
I had no idea going into this what it was about. I just knew it was a new Vampirella. Unfortunately, all I could grab was this nasty-ass Peach Momoko trash. You know, I love her. But this is Vampirella, the Dark Powers #1. In the beginning, Vampirella is taking out this terrorist organization. She's wiping the floor with them. Fucking bloody good. It's a bloody good time. Ripping body parts out. Come to find out, she was teaming up with, what is it, the Project Superpowers people?
Oh, yeah. Project Super. I love that comic
These
book.
guys?
Yeah.
And those are some cool cats, and they don't like the fact that she wasn't supposed to go in there first and wipe them all out. They had a plan, and she didn't follow suit, and she gets pissed off. I got the job done, you know. I might not the way you wanted, so she takes off and leaves. Then it gets a little bit dialogue heavy between the Project Superpower characters. But at the end, this big ass monster attacks, and I think they're gonna go find her and team up again. I don't know. I enjoyed it. So Vampirella gets a stash. Dark Powers.
Ooh, so we got 2 stashes on there. And if anybody else in the chat, you can decide what moves forward on those 2. It's because like Vampirella because of her outfit. Hell, move it forward. If you like American Vampire, maybe you were born in 76. Hell, move it forward. You just let us know in that chat what we want to move forward.
I do want to note that my book has boobies in it too.
Okay, moving on. Let's see if anybody in the chat says anything. Let's go to crossover. Joe, did you read crossover this week?
Yes, I did.
How about it?
Oh, okay. You asked for it. I've never seen a comic book try so bad to be a streaming show. It's the best way to put it. Like, this thing just took some weird turn. They're adding cool stuff to it. Now, I'm not saying it's bad, but it is paced and scripted like a script. It does not read like a comic book. Even the dialogue in it has to set up the scene for you as if it was a script for a television show or something along those lines. With that said, I like the whole naming actual artists from comic books in here that are being disappeared. I like the concept of superheroes existing in a real world setting, but they've drawn cartoon characters. I like that. The little girl and her superpowers, or now that we know she's superpowers at the end of this, that intrigues me. But and I love the fact that everybody's kind of like everything's comic book tropey. No matter what age you are, no matter when you got into comic books, you're going to catch a reference in this. If something's written for you, it spans the genre ridiculously to make sure it captures the largest audience it can possibly capture. For that, it's a stash. I'm going to stash it. I'm going to go ahead and stash this with a cautionary tale that I got a feeling that we're going to get a lot of woo-woo here soon, and I don't deal with woo-woo, and I will blast it at that point. But I've never seen anything try so hard to be anything and everything and tell a basic story at the same time. I don't know how that's going to work out in the end. But again, they're doing what you see in The Boys. Like, you know what Thor looks like in The Boys and stuff like that. Only they're jam-packing it so much in here. My fear is that this is going to run dry and it will just become an annoyance here soon. But for right now, it's a stash.
Mike, how about you in crossover number 2?
Did you know Brian K. Vaughan is dead?
Yep.
Yeah, right.
And Chip Zdarsky, Scott Snyder, and Robert Kirkman are missing. I know where they're at. They're on a 3-day bender in Baltimore.
Are they?
Yep. But I thought this was pretty good. Issue 1 was good. We learned where the superheroes are being held at, kind of like this big ass prison, like the Vault, I guess, in Marvel Comics. You see that Spawn's in there. I think Batman's locked up. Whatever. Then we learn there's also non-powered people that came through with the heroes. They're being locked up. So it's like fucking Nazi Germany over there. And then at the end, the little kid that escaped the bubble has powers. I like this.
She didn't escape the bubble. She escaped a concentration camp.
Whatever. Stash.
Well, no, that's very relevant to the story because they're caging the non-superpowered people from the comic book universe, the ones that, the innocent bystanders, if you will. They literally have them in concentration camps. That's why it's going to turn into woo-woo later.
Overall, I mean, it's a stash. I kind of want to see where it's going. Now, there are quite a few ham-fisted things in there, like you're talking about, Joe. It's like, let's show how many, like all the prisoners are going to stand at the cell door and have their arms hanging out just so we can see, oh, there's Spider-Man. Oh, there's Spawn. Oh, there's Thing. Oh, there's Batman. Oh, there's Wonder Woman. That was kind of really pushing it, I thought. I get what they're trying to do, trying to say, like, hey, these are characters from your favorite comic books, your Marvel and DC. I get that. But I just thought it was, like, really kind of weird, that they all have pretty much the same pose and their hands are sticking out just enough that you can see who that character is. Yeah, it's a stash. I want to follow through with it and see where it's going. I kind of want to figure out how it's going to play out with the comic book world and the real world, and where these two characters fit in. So,
I purposely left it out because I'm kind of wondering who does everybody think's locked up in the psychic comic book person that's locked up in the prison that passes everything in cryptic messaging. Who do y'all think it is?
Xavier.
You think it's Xavier?
Psychic, you said?
Well, we don't know. Well, he has premonitions of the future. He writes the notes.
Oh, yeah. Who was it? Wasn't there a character that could see the future in Civil War 2?
Yeah, tons of them.
Yeah, no, there was one character in particular.
That new character that.
I don't think it's a comic book character.
Who do you think it is? Donny Cates?
No, I think it's Jack Kirby.
Huh. Interesting. Go with a real person on that. So all three of us stashed crossover. What about Bite Size? Mike read that.
Yeah, this is a stash as well. These tiny robots escape from a lab and make it out into. It's like batteries not included. Only like they're evil, I guess. So I'm stashing it. I'll pick up next issue. Why not?
Joe, what about you on Bite Sized?
I really liked this. This was fun. It's that, and we've seen the story, Flight of the Navigator, E.T. type. Just kids find alien. They escape from a place. Are they good? Are they bad? That kind of left us off on that in the last one. You even got the menacing dog that wants to dig into everything. The parents are just too stupid to realize what's going on. And then you got the kids trying to hide aliens. That's going to be this entire story.
So this is Christmas.
Right. But I think that's what's going to be cool. I wish they would have gave me more in this issue. Like, I wish they would have put something else in here other than the grand escape and, a kid finding it. And then, like, that robot thing Caterpillar is standing over the kid and its eyes are turning red while it's scanning, to kind of give an ominous feel to it. They'll all be friends. We know this. We've seen this. But I thought it was fun. It was about the right time of season for it. It's it's that Christmas time. You like these kind of stories. It's there's nothing wrong with it, but it's very predictable. I think it's going to follow a very straight line, but it's still a soft stash for me.
Womp womp. I did not read bite size. I usually don't like the bite size or the fun size. I like the full size or the king size. So
he likes the BBW size.
That's the BBW. But I did read, and I'm surprised you didn't pick this up, Joe. Lords of Misery #1. This has the Goon, and so this is actually it's like a trade paperback. It's a pretty big book. It's $8. So what it is, we have the Goon, Frankie, Roscoe, the little wolf boy kid. We got Atomic Rage. We got El Diablo, or La Diabla, from that series that came out like a month ago.
I just read that.
Yeah, so all five of those people, what it is this ultimate vampire. He's not really a vampire. He's like the lord of the vampires. Like if vampire is just a pawn in the system, the vampire, this guy is the ultimate. He's been reincarnated numerous times. His soul is essentially inside this jewel, and every time he gets defeated, the jewel gets buried and put away, but he keeps coming back every single time. And so they get this group of people, the notorious dregs of society, that's what they call them. And they get this group, and every single time they've defeated this ultimate vampire, but they've all died in the process. So they pull this team together. Like I said, Goon, Frankie, Roscoe, Atomic Rage, and La Diabla. And they go to find the knife with this jewel in it, and they end up only one of them dies actually in the book. The Atomic Rage is actually based off a comic book character in the Goon universe, and that's what Roscoe reads that comic, and so he's super excited when he sees him. But overall, this was great. I mean, $8. It's twice the cost of a regular comic book, but you get twice the pages and twice the fun, man. 3 times the fun.
Three times the fun.
3 times the fun. Not once, not twice, but 3 times.
Oh wait, there's more. Act now.
So this is the end, of course, with a question mark, to be continued. We don't know. But overall, if you like Goon and that world that Eric Powell's built, if you like La Diabla and that world that he built there, pick it up. You're not going to be disappointed. Another great tale of Goon. So this is a stash for me. This is kind of up by itself. I don't know what we're going to do. But what we can do, if we're looking at the brackets right now, where'd Mike go? He disappeared. Maybe he doesn't get a vote in the final say on what's going on here. But who knows? Wait, come on, Mike. Where'd you go?
Is he muted? Can we listen in to see what's going on there?
It's prostate problems.
I don't hear anything.
I think he's trying to go to the bathroom and just can't squeeze it out. That happens, man. You get older, prostate problems.
Yeah, I'm older than you, and I don't know what you're talking about.
Entertain us, Mike. Come on, do something here.
It could be something going on.
There he is. There he is.
In the chat, because there are fans. They love us.
Okay. Go ahead and go through the chat real quick before we.
Let's hit up that chat. Let's see here. Like Commissioner Gordon said, in The Dark Knight, American Vampires, the book we need, but not the book we need, but the book we don't deserve. Taylor Hill says, of course, congratulate them on a good one, which that is funny. Double S, woo, woo, like the wrestler Ric Flair? No, it's woo. Like flat earth believers. That's all woo-woo. Feeling BS, you believe it's real, blah, blah, blah.
You believe life after love?
I like Ric Flair. I do miss him. Okay. Double S says Donna Cake should put Tom King in this thing as well. Maybe it will shorten up some of the books. Maybe. And of course, Spectacular Spider-Grandpa capitaled LOLs him on that one. So that's a big deal.
Who?
Huey's making Ultimate Vampire sound like a master vampire in John Carpenter's Vampires. I would agree with that. The way he gave that review, I would go with that as well.
I'd go with that.
So we got 2 that we need to push into a category. Where are we at?
We got crossover. Sound like, well, you guys both like bite size. We all like crossover.
We should fight.
But okay, if we were to move over crossover or bite size or American Vampire, whatever in the last of this.
It has to be crossover because it's 2 against 1.
Okay, I'm going to crossover over. But really, if we're looking at, is anything going to beat Strange Academy on that side this week?
Let's find out. Let the chat decide as we go through it. Okay. See if we can't get some haters tonight. Get some thumbs down.
Crossovers moved over. Lords of Miseries is going to hang out by itself down there. It was such a good book. It can't be even in this bracket. It needs to be its own bracket and win. So we have American Vampire, Vampirella. Let's let people choose on that. Let's go over to ASM, Amazing Spider-Man 54, Last Stories. I'm assuming Amazing Spider-Man. Oh no, wait. I see. I gotta adjust this here because I got.
Yeah, your bracket. I said your brackets were messed up.
My bracket is messed up. Okay, Batman, Black and White, or Last Stories. I'm saying Batman.
I didn't read Black Man. Batman. I mean, I don't do black and white comics, so.
Yeah, that's how you get YouTube channel shut down.
Yep. So, Joe, Batman or Last Stories?
Batman or Last Stories?
Yeah.
I'll go with. It's not Detective Comics, right? It's black and white.
No, it's Batman, Black and White.
Oh, that's a hard one. I'll have to go with Stories. Unfortunately,
really.
I did it.
Oh my goodness. Flashpoint or Superman? I'm assuming Superman because you guys both like that.
Yeah, I'm going with Superman.
Mike, you agree with that?
Yes.
Copy. Superman. We do have ASM up here. I don't know if we want to. Okay, let's do one to pick out of these 3 here. Last Story, Superman, or Amazing Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
Joe?
I'm sorry, what was it again?
I got Amazing Spider-Man 54, Last Stories, or Superman. Let's pick out of those 3.
Oh, jeez, that's a rough one. I'm going to go with Superman.
Ooh, I'm going to go with Spider-Man. Looks like ASM is moving up to the semifinals. Okay. Do we give any answer about American Vampire or Vampirella in the chat?
What, I got to read more stuff? I read comic books all week.
I know. Sorry, dude. Okay. So should we just say Vampirella because she has a better costume?
Sure. She's not going to win anyway.
Oh, I know Vampirella's not.
Yeah, we already know the ending of this category, but go ahead.
I think we should just move up Strange Academy.
Oh no, I thought we were talking about crossover because it was so good.
Oh well, okay. Crossover going to beat Vampirella?
No, screw it with you, man. Put Strange Academy to the end.
I can't see your face because I'm in Word right now. So I can't tell if you're joking or not. Smart ass. So, Strange Academy or Amazing Spider-Man? I'm assuming that it's going to be Strange Academy as a winner this week. Is that correct? Does that sound right to you guys?
I think that's a fair assessment on our very scientific formula of picking the best comic book of the week on a Word program.
Sure, why not?
This
we don't have to do the bracket every time. If it's not working, we don't have to do it. It's kind of a fun thing to do. Okay.
Brackets.
Fix my brackets? Is that what we said? You say fix my brackets, Mike?
Yes. Do that again?
Fix my brackets?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So let's go ahead and get on there. It's 8:22 my time. It's, 11:22 your time, isn't it?
Yeah, I got to get up soon.
It's late for you guys. Let's get you guys the old man to bed. I'm gonna head on down. I'm gonna go check out some more Cyberpunk on PlayStation 5 for a little bit longer. Maybe watch some Mandalorian and head on out. What are you giggling at there, Mike?
Double S says he needs a 6-pack of Zima after this bracket.
6-pack? What? Zima.
Zima.
You know what? My son was in the military. He came home. I thought, I'll have a beer with him. I go give him a beer, and he's like, I don't drink that. I said, well, what do you drink? He says, I drink.
He's not in the military then. He's lying to you.
He says he drinks like hard
He's
apple
a new
cider.
soldier. He drinks expensive beer.
No, he says he drinks hard apple cider. I'm like,
What?
come on, man.
This is the
Come
new
on.
military.
This is the new military. We're gonna fix your chopper. Just move it on in here. Move it on in here. We're gonna fix it up for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't ask, don't tell.
You go give him some Frogman lager and tell him to man the fuck up. No, I'm joking.
Okay.
For his service, by the way.
Yeah. We're gonna go to bounce on out here. We'll catch you guys next week, and of course, if you whether you blasted or whether you stashed it, happy reading, and we'll see you next week.
If your brackets are straight, you won't have to masturbate.
Skeet, skeet, skeet.